This is the 4 pillars of community school. Again, research proven pillars around community schools approach. It's for us, it's in the state of California, it's embedded in the grant. It's expected that we report, we monitor, we evaluate through these 4 pillars. And so we're going to take a little bit of a spin when we get to a couple of them. The first one is integrated student support services. And so there you go. And so take a look at that. So this is our dedicated staff. We have community school coordinators at every one of our community schools, and we have community school teacher leads at every one of our community schools. And that is to support programs to address out of school learning barriers for students and families. So again, in the classroom and outside of the classroom is where we're bringing in services around academic needs, around physical needs and strengths, social, emotional. This in the words, and they talk about how important it is that this includes coordination of trauma-informed health, mental health, social services. And so for us, as we're developing these services, we have to also ensure that we know what those needs and strengths are through the needs and asset-based approach. And so we collect that data, that local data, street data, if you're familiar with that book. And we bring in legal services, we bring in health services. Araceli at Sycamore Junior High has, English language development services for families to ensure that they're able to support the learning at home and support their own job development. Right? So these are examples of services that, again, are living, are based on our local data, and is adjusted based on each of the schools. In this case, the 13 community schools that we have. All right, the next one is where we're going to spend just a couple minutes on expanded and enriched learning time and opportunities. I know it says enrichment and opportunities or activities, emphasizing real world and community problem solving, right? It says after school, it says weekend, yes, important. And those are important as well. Summer programs, for sure. Academic instruction and individual support is provided. What is missing in this particular definition and how we focus in on the work around the teacher is every day, every period. What does it look like in the classroom, right? So we bring that community schools approach into the classroom every day, every period, by focusing on those 3 areas, by focusing on youth, voice, and purpose. Right? That's community schools, right? We're lifting up their voice. We're ensuring that the pedagogy, the curriculum, the content speaks to and engages to our students. Right? In the 21st century skills, they're building up their communication, their collaboration, their character, their compassion, their creativity. Right? And those technical skills that are important for the next phase of whatever they're learning. So it might be a CTE pathway, right? A career technical education pathway certificate. It might be dual enrollment college courses or college credit, right? So these are the types of technical skills that are important, that are part of every day, every period in the classroom. And as we center, remember that needs and asset data, like that local data is brought into the classroom. Our teachers are using that localized data to create those relevant, authentic opportunities for learning for our students. And so perhaps their call to action is civically engaging themselves, going over to the city and saying, this is what I'm seeing. This is my local data. I'm seeing housing is an issue, sharing letters, going and attending a city meeting at the city. So the call to action is intentional. Their voice is empowered in the classroom, again, every day, every period. And then they're reflecting and then they're sharing their journey with others. So, and they're sharing that with our families, and they're sharing that with educators, and they're sharing that with our community partners, because they want them to know that we're all working hard, but we students have a voice, and there's 28,000 of us, right, that are building that up. So that community schools approach starts really in the classroom every day, every period. That's how we sustain it. That's how we grow. The last 2, we talked about family community engagement, and I won't go again in it, but all the things that Araceli mentioned, we continue that work. That work continues. That journey continues. But now it's married with our community schools approach. So our family and community engagement specialist at every site is working with our community school coordinator, is working with our community school teacher lead, is working with our administration to ensure that we have a thriving family and community engagement to support learning, to support home visits, school collaboration, right? And we're actively tapping, this is important, the assets and the strengths of our families and our community. And that is active family and community engagement. The last one that I want to talk about is really where I would say if you had a place to start, I would say start here. This is collaborative leadership and practices, creating that relationship, those relationships with those 5 educational partners. The 5 educational partners for us is parents, it's students, right? It's educators. We bring in, certificated and classified in that group. It's administration. Principals are critical. Principals are critical. I'll say that again, principals are critical in the room, right? And district administration, and then community partners. Community partners also have a lot of, wanting to help. You bring in all 5 educational partners, you share the leadership in that environment, whatever those structures are, whether it's district level and site level. You create that environment to share and push each other. We have, and just so this is again important, our teacher association is sitting there with us. Our association president and I are co-facilitating the district steering committee in that shared leadership and shared governance structure. That happens at the district level, and it happens at the site as well. Cabinet, our teacher leaders are brought together through our site leadership team, and they are sharing in decision making. Our administration are managing and bringing folks together to ensure and fostering the leadership and the ownership in decision making. So again, collaborative leadership is where I would say you're going to start. You're going to bring relationships together. You're going to create that trust, and you're going to ensure that collaboration is thriving.